Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about weaponizing safe zones. Now this is a really scary topic, and since the word safe zone can actually be turned on its head and it becomes like an assault bubble or a capture field, it's really quite worrying. And what I'm going to show you can definitely be seriously abused, and that's why I'm hoping from this video Keen might look at it and go, maybe we need to change some of them settings on them safe zones. But let's jump into the character. So we've got that outpost I just showed you a second ago, and I'm going to head over there. I'm a hydrogen man, I'm attempting to break into it. Okay, the turrets are engaging me. Alright, I'm killed, I'm dead, for instance. There we go. That was my first attack, I failed, I've not managed to break into the outpost. That is not the end of many attacks. A lot of raiding happens when people start digging in. So now I've spent some time. I've dug, in fact, underneath their base. You can see there's a trail in through there. Turrets couldn't target me. Enemy players are completely unaware. They're still working up there on their outpost. I then appear in this tunnel. I brought enough supplies with me to construct the generator and the reactors. Yes, it's took me some time, it's took me some money, but then I do this. I power the thing up. So we check the safe zone, make sure everything's safe, we turn the power on, and it starts to initiate. So now it's initiating. The players in this area see this bubble appear, and it's already too late for them. They are going to have to dig under their base and find it within 30 seconds, and most of the time it is far too late for them. That shield is going to activate, and if we just jump in, we check how long's left on it. 7 seconds. Probably a lot of them wouldn't have even realised that the shield's gone up, especially if it's such a large square. Now the shield's actually happened. I'm looking around, I'm waiting for the right amount of time. Right, it's done. So I'm heading up through the tunnel under the base. I pop myself a hole out, and here we are, if I can fit through this voxel. I'm now in the outpost. I am now in control. These turrets can't target me. They won't target me. The enemy players have been ejected out of the area. As soon as they respawn in the medbay back at the little facility here, they get kicked straight back out. So I can simply just pretty much even walk, just stroll now into their outpost, cut down their medbay and facilities back inside there, and I now own the place. I can work my way through the Gatling turrets, turn them the other way around. So even if enemy ships have been launched out this perimeter and they come back to try attacking it, I can use their own turrets against them. So this is something that really needs to be addressed. Now, there's lots of ways that this could be addressed. Simply, the one is if there's enemy blocks or blocks owned by another player with inside a safe zone that you're about to initialize, it stops it from booting up until you clear them out. Yeah, I could see some issues with that as well. No idea pretty much solves the problem. But there we go. That's one way of weaponizing the safe zone. I'd recommend you don't do it, but I've seen it happen. I've seen the uranium pit get captured with this method. A team sneaks underneath and literally drops a shield, and it's all over for that team. So inside here, we've got ourselves just this shield generator and this really narrow gap. You could use it in a narrow gap like this just to prevent access to an area without using as much power, and it really annoys players. Now over here we've got an enemy ship represented by this broken turret. Now, there's a few things we could do. We could expand the safe zone and just throw this off into another place, or we've got this issue here as well. It's actually in range, it's doing no damage towards our outpost at all, but if I grab myself a Gatling turret like so, I'm just going to stick that Gatling turret on the top for the moment. Now this Gatling turret here is owned by, let me just check. So this Gatling turret, if I can get that console, there we go, is owned by me. Now I'd like that Gatling turret to target them, but at the same time I don't want any damage coming to my base. So what we're going to allow is shooting. So my Gatling turret can now shoot back at that block outside while taking no damage itself. So it's allowing bullets to go through the shield. You can see that the bullets from that object are now coming through the shield, but it's causing me no damage at all. Where on the other hand, I'm shooting out and I'm slowly breaking apart that turret on the exterior while taking no damage. Something that really needs to be balanced, and the way I would personally go about balancing it is jumping in here. We'd go to the safe zone and we've just combined both the allow damage and allow shooting. So something like this would happen. If I'm shooting out, then I can be shot at myself. So I would actually start to take the damage myself, like so. And obviously, with the safe zone stuff, you can just turn it off at the same time, so we don't want to take damage anymore. We turn it off and they're pretty much stuck back outside once again. So the next situation you might find yourself in is you built yourself a trade outpost. Everything's going well, you've set it up correctly, so let's just move our character over to the actual trade outpost. And we've got our first customer already coming over here. So we go into the trade outpost inventory information and we just check that everything is correct with K. So with the safe zone, when we're doing some trading, it's important that we have the right option selected. So we go to configure filter, and as Wizard was telling me before, it's kind of the devil in the details. So we've got the players, we've got factions, we've got grids, and we've got floating objects. If you set this up incorrectly, people are going to lose supplies and they won't be very happy with you. So we've currently set everything to blacklist rather than whitelist, so it allows everyone in and out of the safe zone. But still, there's a very big problem with this, isn't there, Wizard? If you want to come and compare this. So Wizard's just now locked the connector up to this outpost. And what's the next step now? Are we going to change the batteries over to draw power?
Recharge.
Recharge. So this should suck the power out of the station, out of the windmills, and cause the shield to go down in theory.
So what we've got going on now is my station, my ship, is now running their grid.
Ah.
I need to turn off all my reactors.
Yeah, turn off the reactors and let's see that shield go down. So there we go. That's how you get rid of a safe zone shield. Now you can't do that with trade station, you can only do that with player safe zones, and is extremely annoying. I guess it's a way in and it is a way of hacking it, but I think it's quite dishonourable. I don't know about you, Wizard.
I think it's dirty. I think it's really, really bad. It's not so bad if it's an accidental thing that happens, but people will exploit this. I mean, we've just given free resources and in a survival environment, especially for a trade station that's usually going to be stocked up with good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this has just been it's turned from a trade station to a hijacking. Yeah, I'm going to turn up the impulse force.
Okay, I've put another one in here next to it just to see if this one gets stuck. Yeah. Alright, so when it gets to a certain distance from it, Wizard, it stops, doesn't let the piston, expand any further.
Oh, that must be the range of the, the grinder itself.
Yeah.
The grinder's got a bubble around it that we can't see. If you hold up a block as if you're going to place it, okay, you get the little red, like a little red box around the whole grinder.
Oh yeah, okay.
To let you know. And if you look at the top corner, it sticks into the shield a little bit.
Yeah, right. I guess it's it. Okay. So you can, from what we can tell, stick something on the end of a stick and weld in if their settings are configured correctly. And it's important to configure them correctly or you will have every man and his dog inside your base. So for the next test, what I'm doing is I'm configuring this safe zone like pretty much all of us do, or most players that are quite new and don't know about a lot of the exploits. So we go to here, we go to the safe zone, we go into the configure filter. So we've got Wizard here, he is not allowed in the safe zone. I am, and I would enable any of my faction members. My faction is enabled in the safe zone as well. Grids, now as I asked Wizard before, not everyone's going to allow every single grid and be that monitoring of this, because people just have too many, don't they, Wizard?
Yeah, it's just not practical to keep a grip on every single ship name, especially when they're merging and changing things off. If they've been in a fight, for example, and they've had to make repairs, and things can change. So keeping a log on everything and how it changes, it's just not practical.
So the final thing, we've got floating grids, and whatever. These are just simply blacklisted, because if we drop a tools, drop some rock or something by mistake, some parts, then we don't want them being blasted out the shield. So Wizard, where are you? Where are you? Come to where I am. So Wizard's going to try to break in now to this shield. He knows the settings. So there we go. He's projected away. Now what have you got hidden behind this bush over here, Wizard?
Well, this is one of their fighters. and we hijacked it.
But this could also be done with simply building your own ship and then setting everything to their ownership, couldn't you?
That's right, yeah. We were able to find the ship, and what we've done is we've kept the connector at the back so that we can access it, and the weapons and everything, they're empty, at least they should be. But they're not shooting at me, so I'm happy.
Critical.
And as for flying the ship, the cockpit is mine.
So the cockpit is owned by Wizard, the connector is owned by Wizard. Let's see if we can get inside that shield, shall we? You want to pop in and give us a fly through?
Yep.
Now we tested out this earlier and we already know the result, but it will surprise you and it will worry you this, so just stand by.
So remember, this grid, the only thing that is owned is the cockpit and the connector.
You're now inside, and this would be very worrying, especially if it was an actual stolen ship. I'd be 10 out of 10. But if this was just a ship that had been renamed, now you could even go to the connector, couldn't you, Wizard? Connect up, and you could even use the thing that we just showed you before, where he drains the shield down and then takes the whole place over again. It's frustrating, it's hard to deal with, and whitelisting every particular ship would be extremely difficult and tedious to do. Do you see any way around this, Wizard, though, at the moment? Because I don't.
The only way that I could see to stop this from happening is if they could somehow make a connector that does not allow power transfer.
I mean, if the thing is, they'd have to. The only other way around it is if they turn the connectors off after use. But I mean, no one's going to do that, are they? They're going to forget.
Well, they're either going to forget or they're not going to be able to trade. Because a lot of these people, they want to actually set up a trade station. That's what the economy edition is all about, being able to do trade.
But what's worrying though, this outpost Wizard shouldn't be configured to even allow you to trade. You shouldn't even be allowed in here at all. But you managed to get in. So there we go. It's quite worrying, the safe zone. So be very careful with them. And this is one of the main reasons that I've actually got them disabled on our server at the moment, because I feel like they're more trouble than they're worth, aren't they, Wizard, at the minute?
Yep, I'm just going to try and recharge on my batteries and spend as much energy as possible. And this is saying it's going to take around 22 minutes
So
with everything firing.
22 minutes till that safe zone's down. So in this scenario, I have accidentally built a tiny bit out of my bubble. That is very possible. Over here, Wizard, do you see where I am?
Fuel critical.
Over here. Oh, they're coming around the other side. Do the other side of the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've accidentally extended this windmill a little bit too far while I was building. Yes, you could say it was the player's fault, but go on, Wizard. Explain this other tactic.
Okay, so there's a block here, and I should... Yep, I can grind it. I can weld it, I can... basically, it's exposed. It's a block that I can do whatever I want to do with, right? Now
I've got a little theory here, Wizard. 1 second. If I take that, and that bit's just slightly out of the shield, can you still do stuff to that bot?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's over 50% definitely in outside. So that's a tiny bit exposed. Maybe you hadn't even noticed it, because it's that small. But go on, work from there. Continue what you're saying.
Right, so I am in creative. I've got can use all terminals, that's turned off. Ignore safe zones, that's also turned off. So I'm purely doing this as an example. So I'm going to start placing frames, but before I do that, I want to see how many frames I need to build. And to do that, I need a control panel.
Alright, do you want me to stick a block on so you can add a control panel on the side?
No. Right, now I can't place that block. It won't let me.
But if I had extended further out, like that, then can you?
Go on then. I still can't place that block.
Okay, so if I extend further out again, can you now place it?
Nope.
No, so anything that's coming out of that safe zone is in theory safe then. So if I extend it like this, is that safe?
So I can't add to it.
Can you shoot? You can grind it though, can't you?
Yes. Where are we?
So you can grind it, weld it, but you can't add to it. Could you add to it through a ship?
Alright, now I've ground that down. See if I can add to that. No. No, I can't.
So could you add to it from a ship?
No, I can't place blocks.
Okay, so that theory then is not a case then, is it really?
No. Can't do it. I can see I am doing it from the cockpit as proof.
Okay, so you can't extend from it. I'm just trying to think if there's any other options then. So the next little scenario that people wanted me to test out was that we've got Wizard here in a cage. Down below. He's willing to be in there, don't worry. So we're going to fly this into the actual safe zone, and it should allow me in because I own it. But what will it do to poor Wizard down there?
No!
Oh, I've crashed into my safe zone, sorry. Right, so could you move around in there? Fine now.
Yeah, I can actually.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, okay, so I'm just wondering if I've set it up incorrectly. So it does push you away from it, doesn't it, when we go in?
Wait, it's reserted to ignore safe zones. Do that again.
Okay. So this time you've got it on the right setting, yeah?
Oh, I just got flung out of the cage.
Oh, okay. Get back in the cage. Let's see if it's a consistent thing that you get flown out of it.
I mean, I literally passed through the grid itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in, because I was always wondering, you know, could you smuggle someone inside? Or could you take a prisoner back if you had a right cage to him? So we'll try going in again.
Okay.
Okay, should I go slower this time or faster?
Yeah, please. Be nice.
Okay, there we go. Oh, actually, get to the other end of the cage. Okay, you ready? Alright, we're going
I've just got bounced off it, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm out.
Right, okay, for this time, just fill in the whole back of the cage. Fill in the whole back. We've got to see if we can prove this one right or wrong. Alright, pop yourself in, fill the whole side up. There we go. Fill in all the gaps. Lovely. Alright, perfect. Now we'll go again. We'll go a bit faster this time.
Mean person.
Okay, so it just kicks you out through the grids.
Yep.
Alright, okay. Interesting. So you can't smuggle someone into a safe zone unless there's a way that we know. The only other way to smuggle you in would be if you were in a seat inside, wouldn't you?
Could try that.
Because, okay, say for instance you saw a guy mining outside the safe zone. You quickly attach a seat on the inside. Alright, so just stick a seat on anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Yep, he's loaded his way back up. He's accessing the seat. Okay, so there we go. He's hidden his seat inside the safe box. We'll bring it back in. Okay, see if he gets launched out. Okay, so he's smuggled in now, isn't he?
I am.
So if, for instance, now that you're inside and we're near the centre, if you bail out of that seat, you just launch through it again.
Yeah, I will do.
Okay, go. Right, okay, so you can smuggle them in, but they've got to remain seated. Right, well, we've discovered quite a few things, haven't we? Let's continue having a look around at something else. So to bring this one to a close, me and Wizard have tested out quite a few of the ideas people had. We'd like to know if you guys know any more of the exploits or ways of getting inside a safe zone that you shouldn't be able to get into. Let us know down in the comment section below, and if you've got any ingenious ideas, we're sure to test them out in a future video. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and Wizard.
Aye. See you next time.
I wasn't actually my character though, I was just floating around, but thanks for waving to me. Right, we'll see you next time, guys. Right, so for this next test, we've got Wizard down in the cage there. Oh no, I've exported the model! Oh, fuck it, quick, copy and paste. Copy and paste this creation, quick, Wizard. Copy it, blueprint it, control B it.
I've copied it, it.
Oh my god, I hate this exporting model thing. Keen, please fix this. It's destroying my soul. It doesn't work anymore, it just crashes the game. Oh. Oh, there's a blooper for you anyway.